Hello and welcome to We Never Met, the podcast where I have an interesting stranger on every single week. And today we have
Rachel Hawken from Drift.
And could you just, from the beginning here, explain a little bit what Drift is for people that don't know?
Yeah, Drift is a mobile cafe, aka food truck. For the people who don't know mobile cafe.
The industry terms.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a New Zealand-inspired mobile cafe serving full-service espresso bar.
Yeah.
Savory hand pies that you'd find in like Australia or New Zealand.
Yeah.
And desserts.
I've been there.
Awesome.
I've been to Drift, and it is delicious.
Good.
I had the sausage
you.
roll.
The sausage roll, yes.
It's great.
It's a fan favorite.
Yeah, I actually listen to or they're not on the radio anymore, but Australian radio actually a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah. When I was a kid growing up, I was like obsessed with Australia, and I never got to go.
You still haven't been?
No, I still haven't.
Oh my God, you must.
It's so expensive to get over there, though. That's the thing. The flights are expensive. I should say.
If you get over there, like stay at least three weeks to like a month.
Yeah, just live there.
Just do that.
Don't come back.
No.
Yeah, no, it's Hamish and Andy. Do you know Hamish and Andy?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. I used to listen to them all the time. I still do. They have a podcast, but yeah. So you how long did you live? Because you lived in New Zealand.
I lived in New Zealand. I lived on the North Island in Auckland for the most of it, and then down in the Bay of Plenty for the people that know where that is. It's beautiful, like beach, sunny part of New Zealand. I lived there for like 6 or 7 years.
A long time.
But like my time there has been, right after I graduated university. So it's just been
because
experience.
I got confused looking you up because I'm like, are you from New Zealand or did you like?
Yeah, I get asked that all the time, and I obviously don't have an accent. Never picked one
just
up.
Faked one, yeah.
No,
it's hard.
I've tried. It's real poor. Like I don't do a good job.
Hit me with your best one. What's your best?
No, I'm not even. Is it really
never.
Bad? I'm never doing it.
I would try one, but it would probably just be British or Australian.
Yeah.
There's like a little twist. It's so different. It is
different.
Yeah, it's
and
weird.
it's just like here. Every area has a different
different
accent to
the only
like if you go up north Wisconsin they talk different
right the only like Australian I can really do is like a Steve Irwin impression.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, but his is like, no, I don't think anyone actually talks like that. He would be like, crikey, I put my body through the ringer. Like that. That's my Australian.
That's actually pretty good.
Thank you. That's all I got. That one line.
Yeah, no, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So what brought you to New Zealand? Like, why were you there?
Yeah. So it was my final year at university. I studied at Iowa State, and I decided to study abroad over in Wales in the UK.
Okay.
And I met... you just meet so many people traveling, and I kind of got that travel bug. So finished up university, and then decided, thought about it for a while, but decided I really wanted to travel and move down to New Zealand and experience that.
Yeah, did you go there before you?
I did go there before for like a couple weeks before I went, just to see if I liked it and. If I wanted to move, it was amazing. Right. It didn't rain once. It was just beaches and like fun all the time. Yeah, it was a really cool experience. So, one of my first nights there went to a New Year's is so different because it's warm. Right. So I went to an outdoor music festival.
Right. It's summertime
on New Year's Eve. Yeah. And I was like, this is amazing. Why would I ever spend it in a crowded
or in the
bar,
cold even.
Shuffling through the snow. So it was really amazing. And I got hooked. I'm still hooked. Life is here now.
Right. Yeah. Because having Christmas in like the summer, that's such a weird concept to think of, when you're exposed to this your whole life.
It's totally different. It's barbecues and just hanging out with friends. It's like the 4th of July, but like Christmas, if in that comparison of what you're doing.
Right. Yeah. So what did you do for a job there?
So I'm kind of a jack of all trades. Okay. I graduated in marketing and then ended up actually doing a little IT work. Okay. So like IT consulting.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. It's actually been really cool. So I've been able to do contract work, which has allowed me to like travel and work and then travel again, and take breaks and travel and do that. I've worked in a lot of different bakeries over the years. Amy's Candy Kitchen was like one of my first jobs out in Cedarburg. I grew up in Cedarburg. So real passion for just like chocolates and sweets.
Yeah. That seems like a dangerous way to go.
It's a dangerous way to go.
Yeah, because I work at a food place right now. I'm a video producer for a food company, Taste of Home, and they make all food. So like when I initially worked there, I gained like 15 pounds.
Oh no.
Yeah, because I just like, it's all there.
It is. Are you sick of it yet?
No, I still eat it.
Yeah, see, that's like the problem when you're like really enjoy it already, like before you walk in. So
it's bad. Yeah. But that's pretty cool. So that's why you came back, or why did you initially come back?
So yeah, I worked there doing all of, I guess, working and traveling and being a bit of a gypsy, I guess you'd call it, in your 20s, which was really kind of fun, but still responsible.
Yeah, a responsible gypsy.
Responsible, yes. Yeah. I came back. Well, so I'm originally from here, and I was starting a family. So I have a 4.5-year-old and a 3-year-old, and came back and just wanted to settle down.
Yeah.
And then also, it's just more like Milwaukee's home, but it's also a place where you can kind of grow your roots and start a business and do those things. Whereas Auckland was such a big city, it was very expensive to live there. And would
it be harder to have started a business there than it would be here, do you think?
Yeah, I think so. Probably. Everything's just a bit more expensive. So I guess it's all relevant. But yeah, I thought I have a lot of family support here.
Right.
And that's incredible. That helps out,
Yeah.
With the kids, and then also just with random tasks that I've had, that they've helped out in, which has been really cool to see who's picked up what, My sister stopped by my trailer one day, and she used to be a barista and manage a cafe, and I just was swamped. Yeah. It was like a first day of spring, so it was just me working in the trailer. Yeah, yeah. And she just stopped by to say hi. Little did she know she was going to work with me for 2 hours.
Just get right in there.
Never, it hadn't really worked with me on the trailer. And so I don't know. It's just fun. It's been great support.
Yeah. Yeah.
To
that's
have
really
around.
Cool.
Yeah.
Because I was going to ask, what was their initial reaction to you deciding to venture out and be an entrepreneur essentially? Were they nervous for you? Or were they just
I think super realistic. A lot of my family, actually, they have their own businesses.
Oh, really?
They have or have had their own businesses, small businesses throughout the years. So I think it's been interesting talking to them about, over the years, all my ideas, and then finally starting to do one and actually plan it out, and then being like, no, don't do it. There's a lot of push. I've gotten a lot of pushback, which I think's been really good, because this venture I really wanted to do, and it's kind of like that they keep pushing and say no, and I'm like, no, this is really happening. So once I hit go and started the business, they've been so supportive. Which I didn't expect, because I was like, oh, you're just a little negative on the get-go. But once I started, they're like, okay, you're doing this, let's get on board. So that's been kind of amazing.
Yeah. Where did this idea come from?
So it did come from my experience in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've always wanted to own my own business. I just didn't know exactly what shape and form
and what avenue you wanted to go down.
Yeah, what avenue. I love bakery and chocolate and sweets and all things coffee. So that's always been a really big thing for me. In my ideas. Anyway, I'll get to the point.
No. You can go.
I'm
babbling.
As long as you want. So in New Zealand, you'll see these really cool campers that have been retrofitted, or maybe even something completely custom where there's no walls on a trailer, and it just flips out to a bar and griddle serving crumpets on the beach. Wow. So you go for a surf and then have a coffee and a crumpet, or coffee and a pie, or just easy grab and go food. And I was like, right, this is really cool. Yeah. Came back to Milwaukee, and I knew there was a really awesome food truck scene here.
Right.
But I really wanted to bring that idea of the custom, the trailer, and build something really unique that was open air, where customers could just kind of sit on the back bar and have a chat with the barista while they drink their coffee, and just have an amazing experience. So that's where the idea came from.
Yeah. Was it what sort of, because you kind of talked about this with your family, but what sort of challenges were, because presumably going from an idea, you sound a lot like me, where I have like a ton of ideas. I have a lot of ideas, but like once you get to the actual execution, it's like very different than the actual idea, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
So what were some of the things that you didn't expect that came up that were like the first year, like, oh, wow, I didn't even think about this part? Because how long has it you've been doing this now?
3 years. About almost 3 years.
Almost 3 years?
Almost 3 years. First from the get-go, I wanted to build a trailer from scratch. Never used a power tool. I think we should start there.
Yeah, that's probably a little tough. So how did you build it?
The hammer is my favorite tool.
That's a good one to know.
Still
how
is,
to use.
actually.
Is it?
Yeah. That doesn't work. Then I'll go pick something else up.
Yeah. So how did you build it then?
So I worked with one of my really good friends, JP. He's a custom fabricator over on the east side.
Yeah.
And so he builds amazing things and is an amazing designer.
Right.
And sat with him, and it took us probably like 6 months to actually design the trailer.
Yeah, because it's a unique kind of shape, and I haven't seen one that looks like that, at least.
Yeah, so I love that like retro shape.
Yeah.
And then, but I wanted this open bar.
Right.
That was still, still met all the like health and safety of like Milwaukee
Sure.
standards. So it was playing with that, following all the restrictions and still making it like very aesthetically pleasing. That was like my biggest.
Right. That's a lot of stuff to cram into one
little 10 by 16.
Right. Yeah.
That was probably the biggest, the most initial, just hitting go and being like, okay, I'm going to go buy a flatbed trailer that hauls cars and build something on that.
Is that how it worked? Is that what you did?
Yeah.
Wow.
We CNC routed the walls, and I say we.
I hammered things.
I was participating.
Yeah. Because I always wondered how those things, I guess that someone has to build them. I would
Yeah. No, it was an amazing experience. And I always knew I loved like working with my hands and everything like that, like from baking and whatnot. But I really genuinely enjoyed the whole process. And I've had it for almost 3 years now. And I have to screw things in and fix things on the go. And I think I'm on my 4th like trailer hitch. So like this last one, like I actually fixed it myself. Yeah. So, so I've gotten quite handy, and it's actually been a really fun journey with that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause that's a skill that I wish I had. I'm always mad at my dad because my dad is not handy at all.
Okay.
So I don't know anything. I couldn't even use much things.
Oh my gosh.
I have no skills with tools. And so now if I, eventually get a house or something, I'm going to be like,
did you grow up in the city?
No.
Oh.
I didn't. And that's the craziest part.
Don't buy anything on the east side. They're all, I have a house on the east side.
Oh, do you?
It's just,
It's always like fixing stuff?
It's always fixing stuff.
Yeah, they're cool. They're cool old houses, they're old, so.
It was a joke, but I love the east side. I'm like a diehard.
No, I'm probably not going to do it now. I couldn't fix anything. Maybe I would learn. I'd have to.
Yeah. Or there's people you can hire easily.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways.
Sorry.
So you talked about going to Wales. That was in college, right?
Yeah. Wales was in college. How long were you there? I was just there 6 months.
Okay.
I was like an old senior, I guess you call it. It was like my final year at college.
Sure, yeah.
So it was a really cool experience.
Yeah.
I traveled a lot.
Yeah, because I studied abroad in Ireland for 6 months. Yeah. So it's really nice when you get over there because you can go like anywhere and it's cheap.
It was so cheap. You could ride buses and trains and get that Euro pass, or I'm not sure, the train pass. And it just took you to so many countries. Right. It was amazing.
And even the flights are like so cheap.
So cheap.
So cheap and so quick.
But lots of hostels.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, I wasn't that nerve-wracking. Was that scary for you? Like all the movies portray it pretty crazy. There was a couple
that were actually I had a great experience in most of them. Like nothing ever gotten stolen.
Yeah,
and it was mostly like just a great way to meet people when you're in a city and like go around and do tours and wander the city with like people that are doing the same thing.
Right. Yeah.
But then there's always the last minute hostel booking, and you're like in a 20-room bunk room. Yeah. But usually that's only one night, and you're on to somewhere else. So.
Yeah. What do you think? From all like traveling generally, do you think that like defined you as a person or like made you make certain choices because of because of traveling.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it gave me a lot more hope in people, like going to these different places and seeing how welcoming a lot of people were.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of people put the fear of like traveling and you're like, oh, they hate Americans over there and blah, 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 all this stuff. And I'm like, maybe they just hate you. Like maybe that's the problem.
I don't think I have much fear in travel. I mean, I haven't gone anywhere really dangerous at all. But
no, not scared. Like they're going to do something to you, but like they'll just generally be like rude to you or something because you're American and they can tell.
Oh yeah, I haven't had too much of that. I've never had that problem at all.
But like everybody said that. Well,
traveling as a student though, I think. Okay, I do remember a few times where it was like, okay, there's just like a big group of us with packs on.
Yeah.
And we're just trudging along like no one really wants to bother with, that.
Yeah.
I remember that. Like they were like, no English. I'm like, you said that so well,
I just heard you talking.
Said no English very well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I get it. Like I've lived in touristy places and you don't always want to like take a picture of somebody
or take a picture for somebody.
Perfect sense. Thank God for the selfie stick.
Right. I've never used one though, have you?
No, I got one for Christmas this year.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
You haven't used it?
No, my kids destroyed it before I could.
Really?
Yes, it's now a wand.
You gotta do what you gotta do. Harry Potter on a budget.
Absolutely.
So do you remember, I guess, when the idea came to you? How old is the idea for Drift? Like how long ago did you have it?
Probably, I need to look at a calendar, but like...
Did you write it down somewhere? Like, oh, this would be a really cool idea to do later.
Maybe like 2010 or 11.
Oh, so a while ago.
Yeah, a while ago. Yeah. I sat on this one for a while.
Yeah.
I think largely... Because the idea of serving people out of a trailer is not generally common.
Yeah. Why did you sit on it for so long?
I think the financial aspect, I was still, I probably came up with the idea when I was like 24, 25.
Yeah.
And was still in that place of traveling and saving and not ready to like settle down. Because I think when you have a business... Well, I know when you have a business, you have to settle down. You have to plant roots, and be in the same place.
Right. You want to develop any sort of traffic.
So that's probably one of the reasons. I really like travel, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, since I've started, I've traveled less.
Oh yeah. You had to knock it down a little bit.
I did. Way less.
Because you have a lot of responsibilities now.
I do have a lot of responsibilities.
Yeah. Dang it. Darn. So you guys do have a semi-permanent location though, right?
Yeah. So we were semi-perm as like a perma truck in the 3rd Ward. That's where we started.
Yeah.
Amazing place to start.
That's where I got my sausage roll. Right across from the candy place there.
Yeah. The Red Elephant right next to Benelux.
Yep.
That really was our launching pad. It's been amazing. I couldn't have imagined where the business would be right now. I really thought we'd always just be staying there in that one spot. It's taken off so much that we're now doing like really big events, festivals, private parties, and like all sorts of stuff, you name it. So we ended up just getting booked. And the 3rd Ward has a special place in our heart. And we're definitely going to pop up there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's to the point where I probably need to build a second trailer like yesterday. Yeah. So I'm just, Is that ever a plan or a thought, or do you just, absolutely. Yeah.
Would you go to a second trailer before you want to go to like a permanent location somewhere? Or do you think?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think I'm still like mulling over the whole idea, but possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly. I guess I really want to get the business in a really, really strong place.
Yeah.
So that does mean like another location or two. Another trailer or setup.
Yeah.
Before I expand into a brick and mortar, because there are just generally more costs. And you know what? A brick and mortar is such a different business. You have really, really set hours.
Yeah.
And, you have to work with the foot traffic. And there's just all sorts of things that I've never thought of until like this last year or so.
Yeah.
I've always wanted a brick and mortar, but now I think I'm really a lot more realistic about like what that means for my business.
Right. Yeah. Because I with the the food trucks or like the mobile cafes and things like that, I always wonder, like, how do you know where people are going to come? Like, that's what I always was like, because it presumably wasn't all just that, but you guys have grown like insane amounts, like in such a short amount of time. So like, did you strategically be like, a lot of people go here, let's get permits to go here? Or like, how does that work?
Well, like I said, the Third Ward's just been such an amazing launching pad for us that we, we just had so many people walk by that location. They may have not stopped and gotten anything, but it was word of mouth. And I think that helped us get into certain events. And then we did really well at those. And by well, I mean, I don't know, one of my biggest things is like having a really good aesthetic and like really good customer service. And, we performed really well. I guess performed, that's probably a silly word. I'm not in theater. But like the events were well. Yeah. And so we've been invited to more and more events and concerts and also like all sorts of things. So it's just been going great.
Yeah, because it's like a start to finish thing. It's like you want to present yourself well.
Yes.
And you want to look good, but then you also want, the interaction with customer.
Yes, that's the word I was like.
And then the food to taste good, and then you want them coming back.
Yeah, there's a lot of things to check off.
Yeah.